All right, welcome back. It's been a week. Vendor knows best. Mikey, myself, still missing people. They don't want to hang out. They're losers.
Well, we got a couple last-second bails.
Yeah.
By a couple, I mean
Two.
Two.
I don't know. My brother's apparently keeping time for somebody to rink. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's how he pays for his hockey.
Oh well,
You get like $30 at a time keep.
Oh well.
Does it like once a week?
Oh well, good move on him.
Yeah.
But we are bringing back the Mount Rushmore. This week's Mount Rushmore is top free agents the Redskins should pick up. Mikey, you want to go first?
I will go first, and I'm kind of breaking this up a little differently than what I normally do. Is just when I pick specifics. I'm going just kind of vague. I'm going position.
Okay.
So I'm going defensive line, that nose tackle. I know we had Ziggy Hood playing there this year, and he wasn't bad. He just wasn't good, but I'm not really looking. I'm saying like someone like a Dontari Poe, which I think he might. There's a good chance he leaves Atlanta. Benny Logan in Kansas City, they got a lot of people to re-sign. There's a good chance he leaves Kansas City. I want one of those guys who's big and fucking meaty in the middle of the line, and they stop the run because I'm tired of getting run up on. And Jonathan Allen needs somebody on the other side to take the pressure off from him, and that's going to help him develop as well. So I'm going Dontari Poe or Benny Logan. There's some other guys out there, but I'm going to bring them back up a little later.
Okay.
My next pick is a wide receiver. Very obviously for the Redskins, our wide receivers were trash.
Oh, you didn't like Terrell Project?
No, I'm not throwing it to old stone hands anymore. I mean, it was a low risk, low or high reward move. I mean,
I think you only got paid like $8 million, right?
What?
You only got paid like $8 million.
Yeah, you didn't like.
Sad that we say
it was
only
1 year.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck it. He swindled us at $8 million. I think what was it like a 500,000 per catch?
Something like that maybe.
Good for him. That's all I'm saying. Good for him. He's gonna go back to Cleveland. He should go back to Cleveland. But wide receiver, Sammy Watkins is out there, but I don't know if he leaves the Rams. I would take a stab at him if he was out there, but I'm thinking Marquise Lee or
Isn't the guy
Paul.
Marquise Lee the one who was just playing for the Jaguars?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
There's a
Allen
tight end.
Robinson. No, Marquise Lee is the wide receiver from USC.
Oh, okay. My bad.
He's a little slot guy. But he played on the outside this year, and I think he looked pretty good, actually. Paul Richardson from Seattle. They got a lot of those same kind of receivers, and like Tyler Lockett. Doug Baldwin's not going anywhere.
I checked Tyler Lockett if he were somehow available, but
yeah, I think Paul Richardson might be leaving because Tyler Lockett's still on contract, and they got a lot of running backs that they use as wide receivers, like McKissick and Procise.
He's so Procise.
Yeah, and then Allen basically, I'm saying whatever wide receiver the Jaguars let go of, because they've only got so much money and they got people to pay. Allen Robinson, Marquise Lee, I would pay them somewhere in the area of $10 million a year. I think they could. I think Allen Robinson is the number one wide receiver in this league. I mean, he's coming off the knee injury, but he's had the whole year to recover. He's gonna have the preseason. He's gonna have that preseason. He's gonna have the whole off season. I think he'll be at 90% come start of the year, and 90% of Allen Robinson, I think, is 50% better than the next closest thing we had. It is better than what a lot of people are running with. And for me, I just don't see Kirk coming back. He wants to test the open market before he decides where he's going to sign. The most value he has is with us because he works in the system. He knows the system. You don't know what you're going to be for the next team. Brock Osweiler going from looking like above average to trash everywhere else he went. Or, what's another? Ryan Fitzpatrick after year one with the Jets.
Oh, okay. I was about to say it was like bounced around.
Yeah, well.
I mean, it's hard being the smartest player in the league, okay?
Yeah. After all the head injuries, you kind of have to take yourself down a little bit of that.
All the head boo-boos?
Yeah. But I don't see Kirk coming back, though. I think Denver shells out some money. I think if Jacksonville lets Allen Robinson walk out the door, then they're going to have some money to play with. What's another team? Minnesota's all 3 quarterbacks are free agents this year. So, but I don't see Case Keenum leaving. If I'm running Minnesota, he gets franchise tag. But as a transitional kind of guy, for a year or two, I would totally sign Josh McCown and feel good about myself. And that man just balls out with whatever he's got. He's never had a wide receiver wherever he's played. He makes do with what he's got, and he does really well. And Minnesota, if they let Teddy Bridgewater go, I'd take a flyer. That's one of those low-risk, high-reward moves.
I mean, you kind of seen... I mean, he didn't run as much as RG, though, right?
No, but he had that athletic ability. He could run. He didn't necessarily run to run. He ran like Jeff Garcia did to me. He ran to buy time and to, like, get people open. But, when he got to the line, he was like, all right, I'm going. He was decisive when he ran. And I think Teddy Bridgewater does have franchise quarterback potential. Remains to be seen what he looks like now.
Post-knee injury?
Yeah. It's worth the risk. I mean, at quarterback, we missed on RG3 horribly. Kirk's leaving, in my opinion. He's already 1 foot out the door. It would be huge. It would be huge. If we could get somebody like Bridgewater and he still had that drive and he still had that fire when he plays, and he still has that ability to compete at a high level. If we could get him cheap, because he's not going to be gangbuster in this fucking free agency with all the quarterbacks potentially out there. If we could get him for like $15 million a year, like a couple years, I'd fuck it. Why not? Worst case scenario, it doesn't work. We're probably drafting a quarterback this year anyways.
Please not Baker Mayfield. Please not Baker Mayfield.
I got theories for the draft. We'll come back to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that towards the end.
But Teddy Bridgewater, and then I got these more of these low risk, high reward players. Sheldon Richardson, who left Seattle, who was making big money this year, but was awful. He just looked like he didn't want to play this year. If you could get him to show up for...
that defense doesn't look the same in general. The Legion of Boom, I think, is over, technically.
Yeah, I think it's done. But even with the Jets, the reason they traded him is because he looked like he didn't want to play. He gave up.
Yeah.
And so he's not going to command that big contract this year. He might, actually, because he's the biggest name at defensive end. If he wants that big money, let him walk by. Someone like Michael Floyd, who's shown flashes during his career.
Yeah.
No, we need receivers. We just tried it with Terrell Pryor. Why not try it again? Michael Floyd is a more complete project at wide receiver. So someone like that. Let's see if I could think of one more name quickly off the top of my head as the camera sees me pulling up my phone.
No hiding now. There's never any hiding anymore.
No, there's never hiding. Hey, what's up, guys? Or Mike Wallace.
He did better than Macklin this year. I expected Macklin to do all right.
Macklin was like their guy over the middle. Joe Flacco just likes to throw the ball deep.
When you can throw the ball 75 yards or whatever, standing still.
Yeah. I'm looking for more of a wide receiver that can try and take the top off. Because Jamison Crowder's working from the slot. He can work the middle. Jordan Reed or Vernon Davis, assuming that they're healthy, can work the middle of the field. Ryan Grant and Doxson can work those intermediate routes. I'm just looking for somebody who could potentially take the top off the defense. Make the safeties have to play back. And that helps everyone. Mike Wallace, Michael Floyd, those guys go deep. Paul Richardson, I mentioned earlier. I would feel the safest with him if we had somebody like that. But he's another one of those speedy receivers. Those are my picks.
Not bad. I went just straight, I think, secondary. I was after looking at all the people, I was like, oh my god, this is just all secondary.
Yeah.
But that's one of the places I think needs a lot of work. I couldn't find any left guards any offensive tackles or linemen that I thought would be. Yeah.
It's not a good class in free agency this year.
But my first one was Tremaine Johnson. Kind of big, 6'2", 213.
He's a good physical corner.
Yeah, he's only 28, so he's not too far past his prime. He's like in his prime kind of still.
He is in his prime right now.
Yeah.
I think he's a good guy, too.
Yeah, he only had 2 interceptions last year, but, he has 18 for his career. So.
It's hard. There are people that just aren't interceptions guys.
Yeah. Well,
Carlos Rogers I thought was really good, but just didn't get the picks.
Was that because you're an Auburn fan?
Oh, fuck, that motherfucker jumped every route within 15 yards. He was just blind as a bat and had no depth perception, and it would just bounce off his hands every single time.
Oh yeah, I just don't have any. I don't have any faith. Unfortunately, I have no faith in Rashad Breeland. And we were talking about this off before we started, but I do believe in Kendall Fuller. I just think Norman had an off year.
When everybody started getting hurt, it was just like the bottom fell out of the defense. But when he got hurt, the life left that defense.
Yeah. So, but I just don't. They just pick on Breeland all the time. He gets beat all the time. He holds or gets penalties when we definitely don't need it.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was saying Tremaine Johnson. My second is Morgan Burnett from Green Bay.
Solid safety.
And once again, he's 6'1", 29 years old. Excuse me.
So these guys are in their prime right now.
Yeah, he's eighth season in. He only has 9 picks, but we've seen always get beat safety wise. I've seen no matter who we rotate in there. Now, who's the dude that kept getting his shoulder hurt all the time?
Monte Nicholson.
Yeah, he looked good. He couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him come back and be healthy because he looked great last year. And Swearinger had a run where I thought he was like a top 3 safety in the NFL for like 3 weeks.
But he's not the coverage guy. He's more he's the strong safety.
Well, they use him at free safety. Yeah. It doesn't matter anymore. In this league, you got to be able to do both. But he surprised me in his coverage abilities. But it would be great to have somebody on the other side. Monte Nicholson, I'd like to see. The Shazer Everett, I don't dislike the guy. He'd be a really good backup to me.
Yeah, some people just make good backups.
Yeah.
Third, I have Brent Grimes.
I love Brent Grimes.
Yeah, he actually, he had 3 picks last year, 44 tackles. Granted, Tampa Bay wasn't that great overall. He's the oldest, I think, of the bunch, though, but he just seems like he still keeps himself in relatively good shape, though.
Oh, he plays ageless.
Yeah. So, I think he's the oldest one out of the group of guys I picked. But, I just get tired of seeing us always get beat deep. And granted, you're saying it's like last year we got beat up running wise, and then people just beat us over the top.
Right.
And I'm looking for anybody in my mind that can keep up, and stop anybody. It seems like especially just looking at the history, Norman's probably going to get hurt next year.
Yeah.
I don't want him to get hurt, but he's probably
been hurt the last year.
He's had 1 or 2 concussions, I think, since he's gotten this team, and it's defending like a pass that he dives for.
Yeah,
and he bats and he lands arm. Or his shoulder, his ribs.
He gets so involved in everything.
Yeah.
Here, I
like it though.
Carolina, he was physical on the outside. And he was that same kind of baller, but he gets in the run game for us.
Yeah, I'm punching balls loose.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
it's good to be deep in the secondary. I'm excited to see Fabian Morrow get a full off season.
True. Look what happened the year before with Doxson though. Doxson had kind of a similar injury, didn't he? His was his Achilles though,
and his Achilles. And they had to shut him down mid-year. It was your shit's still fucked up.
Yeah, and so he came back and after a full year.
He showed some promise this year. Hopefully built on it.
Yeah. I have.
Before you hit the last one, Brent Grimes. Google Brent Grimes one-handed interception, and it's going to be a side-by-side play of the Odell Beckham one-handed catch that made Odell Beckham this superstar. And there's Brent Grimes who did it 2 years earlier to pick off a ball that was thrown high, a jump ball for Calvin Johnson, and he picked it off in the end zone. I think Brent Grimes wore it better. And he robbed Megatron.
I mean, he did, but didn't lead to a touchdown. I think that's what makes the Odell one thing so big.
Robbed a touchdown.
True, but defense isn't as sexy as offense, though. Unfortunately.
Oh, that was super. That was sexy. That was full chub after that thing.
Just went from 6 to midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got good fundies.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not gonna say I had one other one, but I'm gonna skip that one, and I'm just gonna go with this one. I'm gonna go with the Super Bowl hero. Was it 2 years ago? Malcolm Butler is my last one.
Was it 2 years ago?
Was it 2 years ago? It wasn't last? No, because they wasn't last year.
Beat Seattle.
Yeah, 2 years ago, because they beat Seattle, and then they beat Atlanta. And now they're trying to go for the three-peat.
God damn, has it really been? I feel like it's been longer than that.
Maybe it's been 3 years. Maybe it's been 3 years.
But like Malcolm Butler is a good.
Malcolm Butler's only been in the league 4 seasons, so that's why.
Yeah, he's a good guy. New England has a couple guys that they might lose this year. Nate Soldier, they got a franchise tag one of them.
Yeah, I saw that, but I don't think we're ready to get a left tackle yet.
Yeah,
so that's why I didn't put him in my list because I love Trent, but Trent is so physical and is pulling for run blocks. He's blocking his ass off all the time, and he's just rolled up on. You know what I mean?
I think it would be a huge mistake to let Ty Nsekhe go this year. That man has been.
I'm not saying let him go.
No, I know, but I'm saying he's a pending free agent this year.
Yeah,
it would be a huge mistake. The guy's a fucking mammoth of a human being, 6'7", and he looks like he dwarfs like Morgan Moses, who's like also.
That's because Morgan Moses' beard stands out more than anything.
Yeah, well, Morgan Moses is also a huge guy, but he just looks like he dwarfs it. And when he's in his stance, he like pretty much covers 2 offensive linemen.
Okay, can you imagine? Okay, so that is my list. Unfortunately, my other one was gonna be T.J. Ward, but I was just looking at it like T.J. Ward. It's just a little too old and slow.
He's a thumper.
Yeah, and we don't need a thumper. We have that already. But when you were saying that though, I was just thinking, I was like, okay, so you imagine you're saying how big Nsekhe is. Morgan Moses, I think, is like 6'6". I think. Was it Williams is like 6'4", 6'5", maybe?
Yeah, he's just so nimble.
Yeah, but okay. So let's say, imagine you have Baker Mayfield, 5'10", I think.
He's 6 feet, probably in cleats.
But I mean, like
Drew Brees made it work.
Okay, but that's Drew Brees.
Yeah, I mean
Drew Brees also didn't run as much as Baker Mayfield.
The demeanor's different, but
yeah.
I have a lot more faith in Baker Mayfield than I had in Johnny Manziel when he came out. And that's the comparison right now.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at the negative, it's Johnny Manziel. If you look at the positive, they're like, oh, Russell Wilson. He doesn't run like Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's rookie year, for one, was awful. Secondly...
Russell could throw.
Yeah, Baker can throw. But, like, Pat, who will someday be back for the show...
Hope your car's okay, Pat.
Yeah. Says that he just doesn't like Baker Mayfield's attitude. He's like cocky and everything.
But I think you gotta have a swagger. You gotta have a certain swagger to play in the league. You can't be like, look what happened to Ryan Leaf. I don't think he had any swagger.
No.
And look at it,
stop making fun of me.
It did not go well. Not at all. Knock it off right now. Whatever the locker room was.
Well, this is awkward.
It was so quiet after that.
Like somebody 2 stalls over. How do you feel about that outburst? I feel uncomfortable, and really, I'd like to be somewhere else.
He was triggered. Like I don't. God, I don't, it's not something I'd want to see here. Like I think we went through that phase, even though RG was, I think, more talented than him. But
RG was the best prospect I've seen in a quarterback. Just Michael Vick. He could throw the deep ball so beautifully. You get hit those post routes and everything. He was not a bad thrower, but he was very much like a momentum based player.
Oh, yeah.
And
he got rolling.
Yeah. When you took away his ability to run, you kind of took away his ability to start up because he was great at throwing on the run.
Oh yeah.
So you took away, you fucked up the ignition to the car, to a fucking Ferrari, and when we put him back out there when he was hurt, I was so angry because I knew it was over. I knew everything we traded it was over. You can't break that leg like that for a player like that. There's no recovery. Thank God we got Kirk out of that. Good luck in your future endeavors, Kirk.
I'm not gonna lie, that made I think like Shanahan looks whichever one that was, Jim, like a genius though at first. Like, look at it, you just fall right onto Kirk.
It wasn't falling right on him. Oh, we tried to play him the first year. He threw like 4 interceptions against Philly the first game he started, I think.
Yeah.
It was bad. Not the game against Cleveland where it was obviously his first start when RG3 missed a week. Only a week. Should have been shut down. It's so bad. But what was I going to say? We were talking about Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
It's a good prospect. If we're sitting at 13, if this is just me, I'm the GM, sitting there at 13, I'm going to take a quarterback this draft.
You're going to take him at 13 if he's there?
No. Well, I'm gonna call someone like Buffalo who's picking in the 20s.
And trade back?
Yeah, well, I'm like, okay, I know you don't like Tyrod Taylor. You sat him twice for Nathan Peterman. Nathan Peterman is one of the best defensive players I've ever seen. 5 interceptions in 1 half. Whew. Legendary.
Okay, so
if he had finished that game, he would have put Ryan Fitzpatrick to shame for the 6 interception game.
All right, so if you had to choose between these quarterbacks, because you're saying you're going to pick a quarterback, I'm assuming it would be one of these 6 that I'm about to read off. It'd be Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Mason Rudolph, Riley Ferguson, or Luke Falk.
If Lamar Jackson is available at the start of the second round, like outside of the top 3 picks, I'm trading up to go get him.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I would call Buffalo with Baker Mayfield's there in the first round. See if I can't pry Terrell Pryor in a draft pick away.
Okay.
Or not Terrell Pryor, Tyrod Taylor.
I was about to say, I'm hoping you fix this, but
yeah, Tyrod Taylor from them.
He's had too many of these.
Yeah, white girl wasted, chocolate wasted. See if I can't pry him away, because I think Tyrod is vastly underappreciated. He's had no receivers in Buffalo. He had
Sammy Watkins
for what, 4 games in his whole 4 years. What good is it? Charles Clay has been his best receiver the whole time.
Who did they just didn't get Kelvin Benjamin or something like that?
Yeah, but after they benched him, we got you a receiver, Nathan Peterman. Get out there and be somebody. I've never seen a team try and tank so hard as Buffalo this year.
And then they made the playoffs.
Yeah, and just fail at tanking. That's how good I think he is. I think Buffalo's offensive line is average at best, and Tyrod's ability to run makes up for that.
I don't know, that concussion he got in the playoffs may have just set him back. Did you see? I mean, I don't know if we talked about this last time, but when he got the concussion, the person that hit him was like, "All right, here, dog, let me pick you up. All right, let me help you up." Yeah. And all of a sudden, he picked him up. He's like, "Yo, why aren't you coming?" And like Tyrod's like unconscious. Like,
just drop him. I think we need a doctor.
I mean, concussions are no joke, but I mean, looking at that just like that, it was like, oh,
it's funny. Who was it a couple years ago? There's a Ravens player knocked out like a Patriots running back. It might have been Stephen Ridley.
It could have been.
He just came around the corner and helmet to helmet contact, very obviously, fucking killed him. And you just see the limp body of like Stephen Ridley or whoever the fuck it was. Might have been Shane Vereen. Who knows? I don't for sure. And you just see the limp body and like the ball goes up in the air and his arms just like he just falls back like Jesus take the wheel.
Whenever I see that, I think of who's that third tight end we have
this year? Niles Paul.
Yeah, that
Niles,
one.
Please don't touch me. Call.
Yeah, when he got murdered, and they called a fumble on it too. Because I think he was like an over the shoulder catch. He caught it, got murdered, and did the same thing. It was just like,
which is sad because that's just so unnecessary. You could have just patted him on the back and he would have froze up and dropped the ball.
Oh Lord, but
I think Tyrod Taylor would be a good fit here. He's intermediate to short routes. He's very accurate, takes care of the football, has the ability to run, makes the offensive line better, would make the running game better. I think that would be a great trade. And you would not break the bank on him. It would just cost you the prospect of Baker Mayfield. And who knows, you might get a second-round pick back.
Maybe. But you mentioned Philly earlier, and I mean, unfortunately, clearly we're not in the playoffs, being Skins fans, but we got to talk about these two games that went on. Mm-hmm. So clearly, we got to talk about Jacksonville in New England.
I got to be honest. I think pro sports are rigged. I don't think it's rigged like from the inside in. I think it's like boxing, where obviously the boxing like higher ends are like organizing everything, and like they're not throwing the fights. There are people paying the fighters to throw the fights. I think it's the same thing in football. I said it, was it last week or the week before? Whatever. Marcus Williams has been playing football his whole fucking life. Okay? You miss a tackle, you got your arms on it. You miss an arm tackle or something.
Yeah.
You don't let him go and kill your teammate in the process.
It was last week when Stephon Diggs scored the touchdown. Yeah.
Okay. That you don't fuck your whole life. You don't fuck it up that bad. That's like if I was a NASCAR driver and I got to got to a stop sign a block away from my house and I had to take a shit and I fucking panicked and I just fucking gunned it right through into the stop sign on the other side of the street. Like, it's ridiculous. I cannot believe it. I will not believe it. The Super Bowl lights turned off when the Ravens fucking were killing them. They had to let the 49ers come back to keep people to watch it. Okay, this shit is staged. I refuse to believe it's all real.
You're so aggressive.
I swear to God, the Pats, when they play, the refs all huddle up before the three. Pats on three. 1, 2, 3, Pats. They're in the huddle celebrating and shit. They're dapping up Tom Brady. I know Tom's been playing forever. He probably knows all the refs. You cannot do that shit mid-game. That's why people are skeptical.
I mean,
how come it's never a catch against New England?
I don't know. I mean, it was a good game. It was super skeptical though, especially with what was it going into halftime? I think the score was 10-14.
Yep.
Jacksonville went up. At one point, it was 20-10. I think something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of time.
Oh yeah.
When are they going to come back?
Jacksonville is real close to Georgia.
Yeah. I'm just saying. Okay, Tom Brady's very obviously the GOAT. I mean, you can't dispute. The man has 5 Super Bowl rings.
About to be 6, hopefully.
Yeah. Okay, that's what you see. We've all seen the meme. Oh, Tom Brady's like hand surgeries to add an extra finger to put another ring on there. Yes, okay. He's the GOAT. You can't dispute it anymore. You can hate him all you want. The man is the greatest of all time. He's had probably the best head coach of all time. It's the best combination you could fucking have. I still think Robert Kraft is part of the Illuminati, and they're staging these things. People are getting paid for shit to happen. No one is that good. There are dynasties in sports.
I mean, what about Jordan?
People are good at sports. No one.
Is Tom Brady good?
This shit is ridiculous. This man is winning Super Bowl 28-3 halfway through the third. Man is playing with all white wide receivers. You can't even play a pickup football game and find a team with all white wide receivers.
I thought last week you said white receivers matter.
Well, yeah, because I had Jordy Nelson, and the shit did not pan out. That's what I'm saying, though. He was a number 1 wide receiver, and it didn't work.
Well, they got Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, token?
Oh.
No, okay. He was actually involved in the offense. What was his name? Mike Mitchell, whatever the fuck his name was last year. That guy was token. He was literally the only black guy on the offense. They had 3 white tight ends. That's 2 white tight ends and Martellus Bennett.
Okay, I was about to say that's because Deion Lewis got hurt.
Yeah, well, the running backs were all black, but I mean,
they had Rex Burkhead last year.
They had what?
Rex Burkhead last year, I think.
Did they? No, he was a free. He was on Cincy last year.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry.
But the whole offensive line, whole offense. I said whole offensive white. Whole offensive line was white. All this corn-fed, like Indiana boys. But I digress. I'm just saying, there's something fishy here.
When there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's the Illuminati, man.
Tom didn't throw for over 300 yards. It wasn't like he lit the world on fire.
No, because Jacksonville's defense is legit.
I mean, he threw for 290 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he was sacked 3 times. He did get sacked a lot.
When Bill Belichick rides Tom Brady off into the sunset, I mean, Jacksonville's going to be one of those high-end competitors for the AFC. It remains to be seen what they do this offseason with their like skill positions and everything, and what the future of Blake Bortles is, because I think the man's terrible.
Doesn't he have like a max contract though?
No, he's on the option 5th year of his rookie contract. So he's getting $19 million this year.
Okay.
But then he's free agent.
I thought he had a lot of money for some reason coming in. I don't know.
I mean, $19 million is a lot of money.
I mean, like, you know what I mean? I thought I had like Aaron Rodgers money coming in for a minute.
No. Well, I mean, that option I think is a franchise tag, the combination of the top 5 of their position. I think that option is the top 10, the middle of it.
Ah, okay.
He's not the worst I've ever seen. He's not as bad as Chad Henne, so
he's better than Patrick Ramsey.
That's not funny. He's a Redskin.
I know, that's why I said it. Or Danny Warfel, Sage Rosenfeld.
Sage had moment.
Shane Matthews, the other one. During the Spurrier days.
Can we just go back to Gus Frerotte, where he makes like a good running play and then he just headbutts the wall?
I thought he was playing for Minnesota when he did that.
No, that was definitely here.
Oh, he did play for Minnesota, so.
He did.
Okay, but since we already know clearly that New England's in the second game, that just killed me yesterday. Fucking Case Keenum, just one pick after his touchdown and just faded away into the darkness.
Case Keenum might have cost himself a lot of money with that game. Now, the Eagles' defense was good all year. I'm not taking anything away from them, but if you want to get paid like the big bucks, you have to be able to like overcome those kind of matchups. I think I had the Eagles' defense in fantasy, so I was fucking sitting pretty all fucking year. I love them; they were awesome. But you got to be able to do something against them.
Yeah. I mean, he's only sacked one time, but he threw 2 picks. Average completion was only 5.6 yards.
Yeah, there was so much going on, like right away that he didn't have time to throw it deep.
Yeah.
He didn't have time to use Stephon Diggs like they wanted to. Adam Thielen was like, they were bump and run all fucking game. He was doubled up on.
Yeah.
Kyle Rudolph, I think, is overrated. He's slow.
Yeah, he had that one touchdown, but
well, yeah. I mean, he's just big. He's a big body. You throw it to him short.
It was 25 yards, 25-yard touchdown. He's only had one catch. And it was a touchdown catch.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying you use that big body, but it's hard to use that big body when there's no speed with it. So it's all situational. If it's man to man with him on a safety, and they're side by side, fuck it, I'll throw a jump ball to him. He's 6'4". He's huge. There's not a lot of 6'4" safeties out there, but he's not running away from anybody.
He's your I would say your standard possession, kind of like Bubba Franks-ish, but not nearly as good as Bubba Franks.
Bubba Franks was an excellent blocker. I don't know if Kyle Rudolph is. I don't pay that much attention to him.
Yeah,
but
Bubba Franks he didn't catch the deep balls, but I mean he was just around.
He's like it's like the same thing Jimmy Graham is, except Jimmy Graham is better vertically. He's a big body red zone kind of target. Yeah, you can hit him deep. Like occasionally, they get left alone one-on-one. At some point during a game, you will have 4 to 5 one-on-one matchups, and if you might get the best of them.
Yeah.
If you're one of those high-end guys like a Jimmy Graham, you just get more looks at that position, or Gronk, where they just look to you if you're one of those go-to guys.
Well, we know it's going to be Philly and New England. Who are you pulling for? I can't pull for Philly. I can't.
No, I hate Philly. I hate the city. I hate everything about it. I think if they get the Lombardi Trophy, the first thing that's going to happen too is somebody's going to try and eat a fucking cheesesteak off of it. It's a fucking shitty city. It's dirty. The way people park there offends me. The last time I went there, all I got was mono and fucking Geno's. It's not that good. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. That shit. I waited 45 minutes for a goddamn cheesesteak. Next thing I hear is, oh, Pat's is a lot better. Well, where the fuck was Pat? I know it's across the street, but yeah, fucking, I'd rather have Jerry's for the lines.
He said it. Rather have
Yeah.
Jerry's.
There's so much history in that goddamn city, and all anyone cares about are the goddamn cheesesteaks, the goddamn Flyers and Eagles.
Whoa.
And you guys can't even appreciate your own teams.
They like Rocky.
Rocky. Fucking Rocky. So much real shit that happened there, and just fucking Rocky. We made a statue. This motherfucker wasn't even real. He was played by a guy that can't even talk right. I think it's a terrible place.
I mean,
10 out of 10 would not recommend going there. There's no reason to. Anybody who likes Philly and is listening to this, go fuck yourself.
Would you rather go to Cleveland?
I'd rather go to Cleveland. I'd rather live in Cleveland than go live and then visit Philly for like a month.
Oh man, that is brutal.
Terrible place.
Like, I refuse. But
The parking at their stadium is a lot better than it is here, though. I won't lie.
no, I've never been. So never been to Philly at all.
You're not missing a lot.
I contemplated going for a cheesesteak once, but now that I listen to this,
I'd go to Jerry's. The shit's greasy enough. You'll feel just like you're in fucking Philly. Rub it all over your face, and it's just like going in.
all right. Well, all joking and shit aside. Well, maybe not joking about the place. How much you just stay in Philly. But back to the game.
New England's going to win.
I was gonna say, do you think if Gronk's gonna play though? I mean, he has a concussion. So.
He's got 2 weeks.
True, he does. I mean, Philly has a shot. They have a small shot.
I've seen this movie before.
I mean, I don't know. I don't believe in Foles, but Foles seems to be somewhat getting his shit together.
Was it 2005 when they played the Eagles in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it was Donovan McNabb and Terrell Owens and
I thought that
Brian
team was
Westbrook.
better. Brian Dawkins, Javon Curse.
True. Terrell played. Isn't that when Owens played with a broken leg?
Yeah, and that man balled. That was a Hall of Fame worthy game. T.O., say what you will about like his attitude and everything. That man deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. That man was a baller, and on a broken leg, he balled the fuck out. Donovan McNabb throwing up like on that 2-minute drill, fucking balled out. Brian Dawkins, not his best game, but a Hall of Famer in my opinion. I hope he gets in this year.
True. What did I say? I had like a whole thought and I lost it. No, they had Rodney Harrison, and then when they had Vrabel.
Well, the New England team was obviously a lot better.
I mean, so they had Vrabel, Seau,
the early Tom Brady,
Harold, Rodney. Their corners were
Ty Law,
yeah,
up for the Hall of Fame.
Isn't that when they had Deion Branch and
David Givens?
Yeah, some receivers that were once again.
Oh, it's gonna bother me. I can't remember the other guy. The one who was there forever.
Troy Brown. Yeah. we both
Yeah.
Jinx.
And
then they had goddamn Adam Vinatieri.
Yeah, I think both of those teams were better than the ones we're seeing now. More complete teams. I think Philly is not as complete as they were because they don't have the corners that they had then, which were like Lito Shepherd, Sheldon Brown, which they were both Pro Bowlers that year, I believe.
They have Malcolm Jenkins. They have Malcolm Jenkins, though.
Well, I mean, they have Malcolm Jenkins as safety, but...
Oh, okay. Well, sorry, I was thinking secondary.
I'm not taking anything away from the defense they have now because it's an excellent defense. I just don't believe they don't have that Hall of Famer in the backfield. They don't have that threat to sack the quarterback every play like Javon Curse was. They don't have...
I mean,
they don't have Donovan McNabb. They don't have a quarterback to put them over the top. And I don't think I love me some Alshon Jeffrey, except this year. I waited 10 weeks for that guy to show up, and then I traded him, and it just didn't work. I don't think he's T.O. I just don't think Philly's as good as New England, or as they were in the previous matchup.
I don't know. Fletcher Cox, I think, is pretty disruptive.
Fletcher Cox, I think, is a great player.
Yeah.
Brandon Graham is underrated, in my opinion.
I will say, though, I think it was pretty proven that Philly, most of the teams they played against were under 500 the whole year.
Well, I mean, that's just...
It's the nature of
they had a bad year last year.
True.
That's
But I'm saying, like, I think the Patriots are a little more tested against the teams that are...
There's no one more tested than Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I mean, what is he, 40?
Oh,
Why are you still doing this, man?
Didn't he say he wants to play to his 50?
Yeah, but why are you still doing this, man? Go home. You have a supermodel wife. You're rich. I'm pretty sure she made you sign a prenup. That's how much money she makes. I mean, you're good. But, Tom Brady is the GOAT. He's going to find a way to beat that defense. And there is no coaching staff I've ever seen that's as good as New England's at adjusting mid-game. And if you're going to beat them going into the half, you got to be up by like 20-something points.
True.
And you got to come out the gate scoring another touchdown.
Guns a-blazing.
Yeah, because they're going to make some adjustments. They're going to fuck you up every time. Or they're going to pay Matt Ryan or like Kyle Shanahan to take a dive. I don't know. I don't know how these things happen. All I know is that another Super Bowl, you can't dispute the numbers like that. He's the GOAT.
You're not wrong. It's just tough. It's tough. Even if I think I wanted to pull for Philly, even if Philly had it, like, I think a better shot, I still wouldn't pull for Philly.
I'm going to go to the Super Bowl party. I'm just going to eat a ton of food. Drink a lot of beer. Get really rowdy.
Trigger some people.
Yeah. Talk about some things other than football. I don't know. Just how do you feel about that Trump guy? Woo! Mikey's hammered again.
But so I will say though, in the offseason that'll be interesting because once again I think they're going to lose a lot of their coordinators. Both their coordinators I think they're going to lose.
I don't think it matters anymore. Nobody who has come out of the Belichick tree has been successful.
Once they leave.
Yeah, as a head coach.
Josh McDaniels left and came back.
Yeah.
And he's like,
he's about to go again.
Yeah.
Romeo Crennel. I liked Romeo a lot.
Charlie Weiss did not pan out.
Charlie Weiss.
He didn't go to Cleveland, did he?
He went.
I know he went to Notre Dame.
Yeah, well, he went back to college.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did he head coach somewhere that was not college? Because I know he went to college, and then he went to Kansas City.
Yeah.
To work under Todd Haley, and then he left like mid-season. I'm pretty sure he like shit the bed during that like playoff game for Kansas City, so he could go to Notre Dame earlier. But
I don't know.
I don't know. I wouldn't say shit the bed intentionally. I just think he didn't give it his full attention.
He didn't give the old college try.
Oh, see what you did there. Yeah, just I don't know anyone who's been. Bill O'Brien got extended, but we don't know. That's been like shaky.
No,
for him.
He just went from New England to Notre Dame.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Bill
O'Brien is the success story for them.
Oh, apparently Yep. Left New England. He was there for 4 years as a offensive coordinator. Went to Notre Dame. 4 years. Did not pan out.
Nope.
Not at all. Kansas City for a year. Florida for a year. And now he's at Kansas. Head coaching overall record 41-49.
So I mean, a lot of these people are just. A lot of these coaches, like I said earlier, just. It was probably before we started the podcast. We were talking off.
Yeah.
We were talking about Spagnuolo. A lot of these people are just good coordinators. It's hard to be a head coach. It's hard to delegate stuff. Like some of these head coaches just do one thing or just don't do anything. Like I don't think Jay Gruden it's his offense, but I don't think he's super involved in the offense. I think he delegates it.
Yeah. Well, it seems like he did a good job as a coordinator.
Yeah, he was a good coordinator. I think it's his offense, like his basic scheme. And I think like he was like, Sean McVay, do what you're going to do with it. And Sean McVay called the plays. I think he delegates most of his work, and there's nothing wrong with that. It is very trusting to do that, and it's a lot of people want to get more involved, and they end up getting their hands dirty and getting fucking things up.
I think McCarthy's done it a few times where he's taking play calling back when he thinks it's going south.
Yeah. And sometimes you got to trust the process. What was I going to say? Mike Shanahan destroys every defense he puts his hands on. Jeff Fisher destroys every offense he puts his hands on.
Oh. But I mean, so I know you said that, but do you think McVay profited more from the people that he left? Like, it looked like Fisher put a good team together. He just didn't coach it well. Because
he came into the best as the new head coach. He came into the best.
Yeah. Situation maybe.
Yeah, he was like, this team's already built to win.
Yeah.
All I have to do is like get this offense to be average, and we'll be good. And lo and behold, they were better than average. They were top 10.
Yeah.
Jared Goff took a huge step forward.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to see him take another step forward again. I'm sorry, Pat. If you're gonna watch it, Pat, I'm gonna make you watch this tomorrow. First overall pick, Jared Goff. I think Todd Gurley should be in the MVP race, but in terms of like the MVP, it's hard to me at this point. It's hard to give it to any position but a quarterback, which is sad too because I'm tired of seeing quarterbacks win it, unless like Todd Gurley had really carried like that offense.
Granted, if he'd put like maybe Eric Dickerson like numbers or something.
Yeah, he was fantastic. He was phenomenal all year. But if Jared Goff didn't look like shit most of the year, then I would have been like, it has to be Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
MVP. But Jared Goff did look good.
Oh yeah.
He stood on his own two legs. It's hard for me to give it to a position that's not a quarterback.
Well, before we end up getting out of here, we got a couple more things to get out. But let's Caps. Let's get the Caps because I'm not going to see you from this. We're not going to play. This fucking bye week shit is killing me. Like, I feel like the Caps, like, last 2 weeks, they played 2 games, they're off for a week. They play 3 games, they're off for a week. They play 1 game, like, off for essentially a week.
Well, we had our bye week. And, I mean, you come off that. It's for rest. It's to heal up from injuries.
Yeah.
I get that. But we obviously came out flat-footed from that. And, man, we lost. And then...
thrice in a row.
Yeah. I didn't pay too much attention to the Flyers game because I just didn't want to be honest.
It was an early game.
Yeah.
It was at 12:30, so... I forgot we were even playing. I thought we were playing at 7.
Yeah, I got the alert, and I was just like, no, I'm comfy in bed. This is my rest day.
I was walking with the wife and kid, and I was like, oh, well, we hit a low point. All right, let me check the scores real quick. Oh, we're going to overtime. Oh, let me turn on my NBC app. Right as I go to turn on, you get a message, connect the or whatever his name is, scores in overtime. All right, you can close that now.
I don't need to do all this. I mean, we're gonna get our shit back together in like not this game but the next game, and we're gonna win the next 2, maybe 3.
Well, my fear is we don't play till Thursday, which is 3 days off again. Okay.
I feel like the 3 days off. See, the problem with the bye week is you're not allowed to practice during it. That's why people come out flat and shit.
Okay, well then, but I say that we play Florida, then we go on a 5-day break again.
At least you can practice. You can stay fresh.
True.
We're gonna start trending back the right way, and then we're gonna hit that All-Star break, and we're gonna stumble the fuck out of that again.
Yeah, It was just, I don't know why. I don't know. Is it a DC thing? Is it just a Caps thing? Like they do not seem to do well. I don't know. Maybe it's an all NHL thing because I don't pay attention to every team in the NHL, but we just do not seem to do well with anything more than 3 days rest. Like 2 days even is pushing it almost. I feel like if we get more than 3, if we get 3 or more, we just look horrible.
I just wish it was like further away from the All-Star game, because to me it's like last year it was not. We had the All-Star break, we played a week, then we had our bye week, and this time it's like we have our bye week, we have a week and a week and a half, and then we have the All-Star break, and it's like, can we separate that a little bit? We're already getting rest right here. Can we use it like end of February or something? Like go into the trade deadline or something. Like, get rest where there's not already rest.
Yeah. I don't know. The guys are coming. Not let's say guys are coming out flat. I mean, he put up 3 goals one game, 2 goals another, and then only 1. I mean, granted, the scoring is going in a downward decline, but it'll go back up.
Right.
But no, it was funny to see how like Burakovsky. He was like not like they held him out even. I think it was more of a thing after he was healthy. And he came out. He actually showed promise. I think that was the Montreal game. We hit like 5 posts. Like he hit like 3 of them. I think he just couldn't get it to go in. And Verano is another. He's starting to fall away. It's like, don't do what you did in Energy.
Yeah. Well, he's one of those guys that's very momentum based. When he's trending forward, keep him trending forward.
Yeah.
It's more. It's like good for him. You know, he's gonna keep it going. But stay on him. You need to keep him like trending the right way because he'll be a head case like Semin.
Yeah.
Or he'll streak hard. What was I going to say? It was very disappointing to lose to Montreal and beat Antti Niemi's first win of the season.
Oh, yeah, I saw 5-1.
I was telling everyone he's not good for like 6 years.
I mean, you won a cup.
You know why he won that cup? Because he was the cheaper option than Cristobal Huey. Huey did nothing. He got hurt, and he did nothing to warrant being like ex-nade from the NHL. He was a short goalie. I get like the trend was to get bigger, but Niemi has never looked good to me. His style is ugly. All you have to do is shoot high on him, which, you know, obviously your chances are better when you shoot high on anyone. But that man has a horrendous blocker. His glove. He holds his glove like with his backhand out. Like, what the hell is he doing?
It's for flair.
Yeah, just flick it up. And then, well, now you're old and you can't flick it out anymore.
Pun intended.
He's probably the only goalie still holding his hands like at his hips. You know, I've never been a fan of his. He was the exception to the rule. If you want to win, get a fin. To me,
you love that Finran.
Yeah, I mean the Finland goalies. You can't hate on them. Tuukka Rask, Kari Lehtinen had a good run. Pekarine,
Mika Kiprusoff
was dominant for a while.
Long while.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's his name? Yarso Roos.
Nicholas Backstrom?
Nicholas Backstrom was good for a while. It was so sad.
The goalie Nicholas Backstrom, not Swedish Nicholas Backstrom.
It was sad for him. The Wild were so bad for so long.
Yeah.
And, like, he was keeping them relevant. And when they finally got good, he was like 35.
Yeah.
It's too late, man.
His time had passed.
Yeah. Sometimes you break through the wall. Sometimes you just don't break through the wall, and then you hit it, and then the wall falls on you, and that's what happened to Nicholas Backstrom.
So sorry. Well, I'm trying to think. I don't know how many games we have left exactly.
Vesa Toskala was awful.
Poor Toronto.
Yeah.
He played for the Bruins too, I think.
He was serviceable with the Bruins because he was on the Bruins before Toronto, I believe.
But Toronto was horrible.
Oh yeah.
I think Jeff Schultz scored on him once. Like he threw like a 160 foot shot.
Yeah, he
that was the one that like bounced over his glove.
That was not the only one of those he gave up.
That was not the only one.
It sure shit wouldn't be the last.
Oh Lord. Well, coming up.
Ronto.
Oh Jesus. 1, 2. The next 3 weeks. All right, we have 3 games. This week, next week, following week. So, I think it's quite funny. We have Florida. All right. In Florida. Hopefully that goes well. We'll play against the Knuckle Dragger Luongo.
Is he healthy?
Is he not healthy? I don't know.
I know he got hurt a while back. I just haven't paid
I thought he came
attention
back
enough to see if he came back. I know there was a lot of Reimer. I like Reimer personally. I
don't dislike Reimer.
He just wasn't playing well, though.
Yeah. I don't dislike Reimer. I just missed that. Then Philly again, which I think we'll have a better showing against Philly. They do.
Have we played Vegas yet?
Yes, we got shut out 4-0.
Oh, okay.
They
are shitting on everyone.
Yeah, it's funny. I saw a meme that day. It was like when everybody in the league thought you were going to suck, but
this is terrifying. I don't want to play them. I don't know what they're going to look like in the playoffs because they're very much a counterattack team.
Yeah.
Oh man, they're
I mean, will it fall out though? Well, after their I don't know when their bye week is or whatever, but I mean, it's funny. The only real like big name scorer they have was what the fuck,
Neal.
James Neal, and fucking Marshall wasn't that great.
Marchessault was 50 points the year before.
Yeah.
I mean, but they took a lot of people
Yeah.
where it was like William Carlson,
Mhm.
where there was promise and they were young,
Yeah.
but they just couldn't get into that
Yeah.
scoring
Mo.
role,
Yeah.
like that kind of role where you have them like in the top 6.
Yeah.
Marchessault, I don't know what the fuck Florida was doing. He led their team in goals, led their team in might have been top 3 in points, and then they re-signed him, and then they didn't protect him.
Maybe they had to put up Huberto or somebody like that, or Trocheck or something. They just didn't want to do it. I don't know. I don't know what their whole deal was.
I don't know what it confused the hell out of me. There was I would have let a handful of those. Nick Bukestad I would have let go.
Oh, that's another one I forgot. Yeah.
Trocheck, I would have kept Marchessault over Trocheck. I like Trocheck though. I can understand wanting to protect him. I mean, that's a preference kind of thing. It didn't make sense to me. William Carlson, I mean, what's his Columbus was in a shit situation. They were going to lose a good forward, a good young forward. They were going to use they were going to lose him, or they were going to lose Anderson, or they were going to lose oh god, it's going to kill me. I can't remember his name. I liked him in NHL. That's the only reason.
I don't know. I don't know a lot of their.
A lot of Columbus.
Yeah.
I
know of Seth Jones. I know of.
Yeah, they had to protect Foligno. They had to protect Dubinsky. I think Dubinsky more so because he had the no movement.
Why is their defender eluding me? The American defender who got hit in the eye last year.
Jack Johnson?
No, he wants out apparently.
Well, yeah, because he wants to set himself up for better free agency.
Yeah.
Which I understand that. He's in it for the money now.
No, I'm talking about the other one, the rookie.
Oh, Werenski?
Werenski, that was it. Yeah, it wasn't a rookie this year, but I mean, yeah. But I think we covered what we were going to talk about already. We're going to talk about the Skins real quick before we go on, but we kind of covered that with who we would pick, who we'd want to see. But
any thoughts for anything extra you want to put out there? Boone Jenner, that was the one.
Boone Jenner. Oh yeah, Boone Jenner. What a good name. Sue Cravens, get your shit together. Figure out what you're gonna do.
Man, I forgot about him.
I mean,
I hope he comes back. Honestly, I hope he comes back as a linebacker.
True. I mean,
Zach Brown, pay the man.
Zach Brown, pay the man. I mean, if he's healthy, come back. If he's not, just stay the fuck out and don't come back and try it. If you're not healthy,
be all in.
Yeah, be part of. What did Will Compton say when you're part of the pack again or something? Yeah. I'll know.
I was a one man wolf pack
or some shit like that.
Now I've added 3 more to my pack.
Oh Lord. All right, I don't know. It's getting late though. You gotta go to work tomorrow. I gotta get this out. Gotta make sure son's asleep. Any signing off? Anything you want to say? How's
Fuck Philly.
All right, there you go. Fuck Philly. That's apparently Mikey's mantra. Fuck them. Fuck everything about them. Hate them all.
The Flyers and the Phillies. I don't really care about the 76ers. I like that.
Allen Iverson's gone.
Yeah.
All right, but this is Better Knows Best. Don't text and drive, and we're out.